Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. It's been a wild week so far in crypto and for us behind the scenes of the channel. So thank you everyone for tuning in and watching this live. If you are catching it live, that is. I have another great episode for you today, and I'm buzzing to get through some of the news that we have maybe missed out on this week and over the weekend regarding some more additional ETFs that, yes, once again have been announced. And then some news coming from HSBC, of all people. Now, I did mention a little bit about HSBC last week when we last spoke, and yeah, they seem to be getting on the crypto train once again, like everyone else. So anyway, like I said, loads to get through. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Hopefully you have your coffee. I've actually already had mine this morning, so it's an empty cup. But yeah, let's crack on and get into today's video. So first things first, as we always do, let's take a look. Can't even get my words out. Let's take a look at the top 10 crypto assets and see how things are looking, how the past 24 hours have been, and yeah, just get a bit of a feel for the market. So first things first then, Bitcoin's currently trading at $30,244. We then have Ethereum at $1,856. We then have BNB at 232. We then have XRP at 47 cents, Cardano at 27 cents, then we have Dogecoin at 0.06 cents, and then Tron, currently up a little bit actually, at 0.74, and then lastly Solana at $16. So not much going on in terms of prices, in the sense of there's not much up, not much down. We're down a few percentage on the day from some of the assets, but yeah, overall still holding some key levels and it's still looking quite good across the market. Obviously last Friday we've seen a bit of a kind of crazy spike, and I did mention on the Friday morning stream, if you watched last week's stream, that prices were quite calm on Friday morning, but we did see quite a lot of action into Friday evening and Friday night, which is expected. We normally see something like that every other Friday anyway, so it wasn't anything new for us to see. Anyway, let's crack on and have a look at some news then. So the first one being, who remembers Cathie Wood? We've spoke about her many times on YouTube and on Instagram and kind of everywhere, but she owns, or she's behind the company ARK Invest. Now, she's also personally known for saying that Bitcoin will go to $1 million, which, look, I believe so as well. I just don't know if her timescales are the same as mine. But anyway, it says here that Cathie Wood's ARK reportedly first in line for a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, I don't personally believe with that, but we'll carry on throughout this article and see what it has to say. So, ARK Invest Management, a pro-Bitcoin firm founded by the veteran investor Cathie Wood, is reportedly ahead in the race for a Bitcoin spot exchange-traded fund, an ETF. In mid-June, the investment firm BlackRock filed an application for a spot Bitcoin ETF, triggering notable optimism in the cryptocurrency market. And pretty much since then, there's been about 5 ETF, I think, round about that. So yeah, it's been a bit hectic ever since it's been announced. Several reports then suggest that BlackRock could become the first issuer of the spot Bitcoin ETF in the US, that is, and it should receive approval. But that might not be the case, according to some executives and analysts. Don't know who these guys are, but we'll take their word for it. So other applicants will be able to amend their filings with similar agreements at little cost, the ARK analyst said. I guess it's funny how it's an ARK analyst that has said that they'll get it first. She's not biased at all. Now, she stressed that ARK and the European asset manager 21 Shares, I don't know if there's any relation to 21 Savage, but we'll assume there is. So 21 Shares filed an application with the US SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF in April. That now is the only one ahead of BlackRock's. Now, I don't know if what they're trying to say here is because they were first in line or first to market or whatever you want to call it, that means that they automatically get approval first. Or if this complete article is just a bit of clickbait, because they were first to market or first to request one, means that they will get the first ETF. It doesn't quite work like that. Unfortunately, maybe they'll be the first to be refused because they're not quite eligible for it. Maybe that's something to look at. But personally, we shared this before, that BlackRock have had 575 approvals from ETFs in the past and one failed attempt. So they've got a pretty much 99% success rate. And BlackRock are pretty much just part of the government anyway. They're all friends. Like, it's a big monopoly out there. So the higher up you go in that kind of the upper echelon, shall we say, the easier it will be to get things approved. And yeah, look, go back and watch some of the videos from last week. You'll see what I mean in a lot more detail when it comes to ETFs and my views on it, especially with the BlackRock stuff as well. So yeah, anyway, I personally think BlackRock will get the ETF, and I think they might be the only ones that get it for some time. And it's not going to happen till next year anyway. And I actually covered this in one of the streams where it's funny timing, because apparently if it gets approved, and the kind of buying time that the SEC can have to approve it and stuff would mean that it would go live about a month or so before the halving next year. And obviously that's kind of, it should cause a bit of a buy the rumour, sell the news run up, and maybe a potential dump beforehand before we see the halving. Then people will get scared thinking, the ETF stuff, it wasn't all that good. It was buy the rumour, sell the news, blah, blah, blah. We'll see the dump, then we'll see the halving, and then we'll see the moon. That's kind of how I see it happening. But yeah, look, we'll see what happens next year, or over the next few months anyway. But there will, or should be, in my opinion, a bit of a run-up in price coming very, very soon over the next kind of 6 to 8 months ahead of this ETF news really being approved. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. So yeah, anyway, that's the kind of ARK news. Like I said, it's just another ETF that's been added. And Cathie Wood is obviously quite a well-known person in the space. So I thought I'd bring it to your attention. I don't think she'll be the first, but look, I don't care who's first, to be honest. I think if we get one, it's fantastic. So yeah, let's see who comes first. So next then, the Swiss, shout out to all the Swiss, their central bank announces plans for the wholesome, not quite, the wholesale CBDC pilot with real money. So let's take a quick look at this then. So the head of the Swiss National Bank has announced that the bank will launch a wholesale central bank digital currency pilot project, according to a report. And Reuters quoted bank chair Thomas Jordan as saying the project would begin soon. How soon? We don't know. However, the Swiss are famously known for their timing, so we'll assume that it will be soon and not maybe sooner rather than later, or later and not soon. I don't know where that came from, but hopefully it makes sense. So the WCBDC will be issued on the Swiss 6 digital exchange and run for a limited time. Jordan was quoted as saying at the Point Zero Forum in Zurich on June 26 that the 6 group runs Switzerland's largest stock exchange. So they are a big deal. They're a legit exchange, and it's something that we need to pay attention to, obviously. According to the report then, this is not just an experiment, which is good to see. It will be real money equivalent to bank reserves, and the objective is to test real transactions with market participants. Now, CBDCs, again, we talk about them quite a lot on this channel. The UK have been talking about them quite a bit as well. So they are a thing, they are coming. Ripple and XRP have been kind of behind them and backing the whole CBDC movement, which, whether we like it or not, again, I covered this actually last week. There was a lot covered last week, so hopefully you've watched any of the videos from last week. There was a good few rants to be had and a lot of good info, but we did talk about CBDCs and ETFs and whatnot, so a lot of it will tie into today's video if you are catching up. But yeah, CBDCs, they're coming. They are on their way. The Swiss, if I trust anyone with my timing and my money, and my chocolate as well, and my crypto, actually, then I trust the Swiss. So let's see how this goes. I'm excited to see how it kind of unfolds, and yeah, I'll keep you updated when I can. Now, some HSBC news. So HSBC are, one of the biggest banks in the world. We know that, right? Hong Kong-based bank, worldwide, huge player in the market. They are rolling out cryptocurrency services in Hong Kong. So positive for crypto and for Hong Kong, I guess. So HSBC have enabled their customers to buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum based exchange funded ETFs. Local journalist Colin Wu has reported. So, according to the report, HSBC will specifically offer cryptocurrency ETFs listed on the Stock Exchange of Hong Kong. At the time of writing this, the exchange lists 3 crypto ETFs, including the CSOP Bitcoin Futures ETF, the CSOP Ethereum's Future ETF, and the Samsung Bitcoin Futures ETF. So they're already up and running, they're already kind of making waves over in Hong Kong, which is great. So yeah, so the move apparently here then aims to expand local users' exposure to cryptocurrencies in Hong Kong. And according to an online report, HSBC Hong Kong had 1.7 million active mobile customers from March 2022. I'm assuming that's a lot more a year later. And about 95% of all retail transactions of HSBC in Hong Kong are reportedly processed online. So again, the reason for that is just to show you that there's a lot of want, need, and users of mobile devices, of online money, online transactions. 95% of that 1.7 million active customers are using online and phone transactions. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for the HSBC and rolling out Bitcoin and Ether transactions. It's bound to happen, and especially what I've been covering recently is like the Hong Kong and China news, where they're offering Coinbase, they're offering Binance, they're offering any type of exchange who have particularly maybe missed out on the American regulation to come over to China, use Chinese exchanges, we'll take you on, we'll regulate you, whatever it may be. So yeah, the fact that HSBC, the big bank that it is kind of stepping up and offering this is a good look for the bank as well, but also crypto over in the Asia kind of area. So yeah, overall, in my opinion, fairly bullish. Normally, as I cover most things on this channel, they are fairly bullish, and it's because the news has just been great the past kind of few months with crypto. Hopefully you're noticing that and you're seeing that as well. So anyway, we shall move swiftly on. Now, this is just a small chart I wanted to show you about quantitative easing. So if I open that up, we can see quantitative easing. We all hopefully know what that is. Money printing, essentially. It's when the government in the US, the Fed, will print money and print their way out of a bad situation, which we have seen time and time again, especially over the past few years. And if anyone can tell me what this line here, I think we all know what that is. Think back to what happened in March of 2020 and what's kind of happened ever since then with the world. They've just printed and printed and printed and printed. Now, you can see the chart here does start to die off over the past kind of 12 months or so, but we have seen as of, now this doesn't quite give you the date exactly. It would give you July. So next month we'll get an updated version, but for now you can see we are starting to see another uptick in the quantitative easing of the Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, I'm Bitcoin in the head, but the quantitative easing of money printing in the US, which is sometimes, proven to be a great thing for crypto because it's devaluing the dollar. Therefore, assets like gold, crypto, oil, whatever it may be, tend to see a bit of a spike because of that. So yeah, let's hope, let's pray, let's see what happens. But they have turned on the money printer again by the looks of it. And yeah, it's billions of dollars. This is measured in billions of dollars, which is nuts. But they are continuing to, first of all, raise the debt ceiling and also bring more money into the world. So yeah, inflation should be coming back and hopefully crypto prices are coming back as well. Now, this is interesting. So this is about Celsius. I don't know if anyone watching this had any of the money locked up in Celsius, but it has been kind of going on for quite a while. Obviously, it kind of didn't go too well, or as some people may say, it's not looking good, bruv, as we like to say on this channel. But yeah, apparently, it says here in this tweet, so it looks like Celsius Network earned creditors could receive 36.4% of the liquid crypto and 33.3% of the recovery stock. So you're not actually getting your 100% of what was lost or what was locked up or lost essentially. I guess it went to not to zero, but the Celsius network didn't do very well. It was locked up. It got shut down basically, and people lost a lot of money, a hell of a lot of money, and they were expecting to get most of that back, but it's looking like you're getting like 30 odd percent of it back, which I guess to take the positives from it, it's better than getting nothing back. I get that, but yeah, 36% considering people had, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands or millions in there. It's not a great look for that. But yeah, anyway, it's, I guess the total is 69% based overall on the kind of stock and stuff, but your actual crypto, you're only getting 36% of it back. So yeah, let me know in the comments, did any of you use Celsius at that point where it went down and whatever it may be. I think Deck actually had some money in Celsius, so I don't know if he's had any more confirmation on the money he's getting back or anything, but a few people we know had some, quite a large amount of money in there, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy to be at least getting it back. But yeah, crazy numbers considering what people had in the exchange. Now, lastly, I wanted to just kind of cover off here. It's a little bit of a shorter Coffee and Crypto today, bit of a snappy one. I do have, again, if you have kind of followed us for a while, I mentioned it many times, we do have our Crypto Fast Track course running this week. So Monday through Friday, 10 till 4, we do have our Fast Track training course, which I am hosting in 21 minutes from now. So yeah, we're getting set up for day 3. It's going super well so far. There has been so much covered and everyone's loving it so far. So yeah, if you want any more information on that, by the way, you can check us out on Instagram. There'll be links below, or you can comment on this video or shoot us a message on any of our social media, and I will help you out and maybe even give you a phone to explain the course in more detail. But yeah, it's looking amazing. There's a new course starting in July. We are about kind of 3 or 4 people booked in so far, so there's not many spaces left. So if you are interested, give us a shout and I'll be happy to give you a call. But back to this news then on some more ETF stuff then. So again, you've all heard of Fidelity. Spoke about them loads of times in the past, but they have $4.5 trillion under management, and they're preparing to file for a Bitcoin ETF. So I feel like there's a new ETF happening every single day now. Great for the space, great for the hype, but let's just see who's, again, as I mentioned earlier in this video, let's see who's first to market. Let's see who actually gets access to the ETF and who gets the ETF first. I think it might be BlackRock, but look, I'm happy for anyone to get it, and especially Fidelity. I'm sure they applied for one last time as well. Most companies did, to be honest. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see who gets it first. It will cause an absolute chaos in the market when an ETF does get approved, and that's simply because these big investment people like Fidelity will need to buy all of the Bitcoin supply that they can buy, to enable to sell it or to manage it for their clients who have trillions of dollars locked up. So what happens when they buy up all the supply of Bitcoin? The price will shoot up like no one's business. And yeah, it's going to be quite hard for you and I, or a retail investor, to buy Bitcoin at a cheaper price and to perhaps even just get a hold of a Bitcoin without having to pay over and above whatever they want to charge you. Because once they hold the majority of the Bitcoin, they control the price. So if they want to say it's 20% on what the actual price is, you have no choice but to pay that if you want to invest in Bitcoin or any other cryptos that they're going to be offering. So yeah, take note of this Bitcoin ETF stuff because it is super important. It's not really going to help us, but it'll help us as investors because it will hopefully cause a supply shock, but it will help the big players in the market get involved in crypto. That's the kind of main aim of it anyway. So Yeah, that's the kind of last part I wanted to cover on the Fidelity ETF. Of course, if you do want any more from us, if you want to kind of get in on some of our trades that we're taking over the past few weeks, because we have been really, really successful on them, or you want to just find out more about crypto each and every single day, chat with over 2,000 active members in our Discord, feel free to click the link below in the description and join our Discord group. It is always, like I said, it's always active, 24/7, 365. There's always someone in Discord chatting away or posting updates. So feel free to join us. And yeah, look forward to bringing you some more content over the next few days. But like I said, today, for me, that's all. I need to now jump downstairs. I do have a full training day for our Crypto Fast Track training course that we hold in person in our offices downstairs from the headquarters, which I'm currently in. But that's all for me for today's Coffee and Crypto. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have watched this live and you have enjoyed it, please drop me a like. I'd really enjoy that. But also drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. What you think of some of these ETFs, and will the ARK Invest get the first because they were first to announce it? Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it anyway. But anyway, like I said, I'll see you all on the next Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, have a great day. We'll see you very, very soon.